Alright, welcome back to another Embrace Destiny video, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking that link and joining us. Kaz PhD here, and today I'm excited to talk to you about the Whisper of the Worm. I finally acquired the weapon last night. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about it, and that's what today's video is going to be all about. The weapon, the quest, the mission, the gameplay design aspects of it, and why I'm excited about the future of Destiny 2. So let's get into it. So, most of you are probably exceedingly aware of what this mission is, whether you wanted it or not. Now, whether you have the weapon or not, you've probably been following it for the past couple of weeks, trying to get it, and there's many in the community who have gotten the weapon, gotten all the secrets, they've discovered every possible thing about it. However, I know there's a lot of you out there who don't have time to read the Reddit, to go through every forum and blog post, watch every video. So, if you are one of those people and you're here, I want to give a bit of a recap, and even if you are extremely familiar with it, I think now is a good time. It's been a couple of weeks since the event came out. It's a good time to reflect on it and talk a little bit about the future ahead. So, as a reminder, this is how it works. A few weeks ago, a secret mission showed up on weekends on Io in the Lost Oasis. If you go from between Friday and Monday to the Lost Oasis on Io, and a public event shows up, you have a chance to eliminate an enemy who will open a portal that reveals a new, crazy, in-depth area underneath a familiar lost sector. Once in that lost sector, you bypass it the way that you've been seeing in this video, and you come to this jumping puzzle. You have 20 minutes to complete the jumping puzzle and defeat a room full of enemies in order to earn the Whisper of the Worm sniper rifle. Now, this rifle is people have been misnaming it all over the place, and it kind of bothers me because I could be a bit pedantic. But essentially, if you're familiar with weapons from Destiny 1, there was the Black Hammer that came out, then the Black Spindle, and now this is the Whisper of the Worm, and it's an evolution of those weapons. So a lot of people just call it the Spindle, they call it the Black Spindle, Black Hammer. Again, I can be a bit literal specific, so I call it the Whisper of the Worm. Anyway, it's a great weapon. It's very strong. It's one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It looks cool, and the whole experience was really interesting, and that's what I want to talk about. Now, I've said it before, but it is exceedingly difficult to imagine designing for this kind of game. The reason I say that is because Destiny has a very wide, diverse kind of audience. You have those who just do the Crucible, multiplayer, PvP, Trials of the Nine. That's all they care about, that's all they do, and they only do enough raiding and other such to get equipment that can help them in those arenas. Then you have the other complete side, who all they do is raid. All they do are raiding every day, every weekend, whatever, and they never touch the Crucible. You have those who are really interested in story and lore and backstory, and you have those who only care about shooting stuff, or only care about collecting stuff. It is a looter shooter after all. So I'm just saying that once in a while we get an opportunity to see when you can bring all of these almost all of these design elements together and create an experience that is exceptionally interesting, fun, and rewarding to a majority of the community. And that's what this Whisper mission is. It's secretive. It popped up. People were really excited about trying to discover how it worked and how to find all the hidden channels. The jumping puzzle is amazing. You're seeing it here in the background. There's so many different little avenues, little nooks and crannies. And of course, some of the more hardcore people, they had videos up in the first few hours. They had guides, speed runs, etc. But even when you're aware of all of that, and even if you've been watching all the videos and such, it's still really impressive to go through and see it for yourself. Next, on top of that, it is sufficiently challenging. Even if you fly through the jumping puzzle part, the enemies at the end are extremely high level, heavily shielded, and it takes quite a lot of coordination and power to get through it. And so that's really rewarding to those who seek kind of a PvE endgame challenge. Finally, the weapon is amazing. I think it's the strongest one in the game currently. I'll have to rewatch Dado's video to see. Or Fallout Plays, I think, did a video comparing them. It's very strong. It looks great. and the lore behind it is simply amazing. I'm going to try and put some links below, but the backstory behind this weapon is amazing, in my opinion. Essentially, the short version is, I'm going to spoil it here for you. Basically, in the world of Destiny, the Hive have something called the sword logic. It's kind of the whole survival of the strongest, might equals right. Essentially, you have to use strength to combat strength, and whoever does that is the rightful, heir to the universe, essentially. So that's why we always had to use swords to take out Crota, and we had to go into the sword realm, use swords and other aspects to take out Oryx. So in Warmind, spoilers again, we kill Xol. We kill a Hive Worm God. He had denounced himself from the sword logic, and we killed him. According to the sword logic, we are now superior to him. And again, he tried to bypass the sword logic, essentially by putting himself into the Whisper of the Worm sniper rifle. So what does that even mean? Again, I'm not doing a whole lore video, but the short version is we killed Xol, and Xol put himself into the Whisper of the Worm weapon so that when we use it, we could feed him and his glory and his strength. Now, I've tried to explain this to a couple of people, and I think the shortest way is imagine that the sword logic is like the monarchy, or being a king in a kingdom. According to the sword logic, if you defeat the king, you become the king. Except what Xol has done, similar to what Oryx did with the Touch of Malice, is they said, well, how about you defeat me, you become the king, but I become the royal treasurer, and you have to send your money through me in order to manage the kingdom. Well, now who's the real king? Who's the real person in control? The one with the title or the one with the wealth? And that's kind of a poor metaphor here as to how the Whisper of the Worm works. So either way, if you're interested in the lore, essentially we kill a god, and then that god had a contingency plan in place to put himself into a weapon, and now we use the weapon without even really thinking about it, the mindless, guardians that we are, and without knowing it, we are feeding this worm god's strength. So even though it was defeated, it still exists in some form, and it's becoming more powerful through our actions. So I think this is all pretty great, and you can get this just from the lore, and I'll put the video down in the description below. People have looked at the writing in the game, and this is what we have inferred, and I think it's all fantastic. So, as I said, Whisper of the Worm, it brings a lot of elements into the game: lore, mechanics, challenge, reward, and it does so in one particular way that is really helpful. The random aspect of it is limited. The random aspect is basically down to, does that taken public event spawn on Io? That's the random aspect. Everything else to this mission is entirely challenge based and earned through a direct path. You go in, complete the jumping puzzle, and kill the enemies in time. It's very challenging, but there's no randomness to it. And a lot of people complain. People complain about a lot of things, but the challenging aspect of Destiny, I feel, is that you need a combination of randomness and a controlled path to success. Let's look at tokens for a second. Now, I know they're getting rid of tokens, but basically they're using planetary materials like tokens. So here's how it works. Planetary Vendor has a bunch of items that you want. Okay, how do I get them? Well, you can... At the first, it was, well, you can earn stuff to turn it in and have a chance at getting it. But that random aspect was annoying when you turned in so many tokens and you didn't get all the stuff that you wanted. Now, you could completely flip the system and say, fine, you can get it as long as you earn the tokens. You can just buy everything. However, if you have it so that you can immediately just buy everything, then after 5 minutes or 5 days of playing or whatever, you've earned everything. And there's nothing more interesting. So in that way, you need a combination. And that's what they've been using for the longest time. You can buy stuff, but you have to have earned the right to buy stuff by leveling up. So there's a combination of random and controlled aspects. I'm hoping we see more of this in Destiny. I'm hoping they've talked about the Dreaming City being this end game location, and I'm sure it's going to be that way for the raid. That's where the raid is going to be, and it's going to be this great time. But for the solo player out there, or even the groups who just prefer exploring, learning a bit more about the history and the lore, and finding out secrets, I really hope the Dreaming City is the place to be, because that is a lot of the time where Destiny, all of the pieces of Destiny come together in challenging puzzles and stuff for the community to solve. In fact, they're currently working on one. If you check out Reddit or anything like that, there's a possible quest coming up at the end of the month involving Cayde and some ramen noodles. I'm not making it up. There's hints that there might be some kind of a mission toward the end of the game. Toward the end of the month, regarding this, and again, this is something that I find really fascinating. So, like I said, Whisper of the Worm is really great. If you want some guides and gameplay videos, definitely check them out. There's a lot of them out there. Essentially, after you complete this challenge on your character for the first time, you have the option to return to this area at a 400 power level difficulty anytime over the weekends. And that's the time when people have returned to collect the chests, in order to shoot the oracles, in order to earn the blueprints for a ship, in order to week after week defeat the enemies with different elements, in order to earn the new ship as well. So there's a new ship and the new sniper rifle, just for those who are not quite aware. If you're having trouble getting through it like I did, definitely consider using some kind of looking for group. I'm not sure if you're on the PC, the PlayStation, or the Xbox, but the Xbox looking for group was very helpful. I created a post. I had one other player with me who'd only jumped through the jumping puzzle once, but was significantly leveled up that I knew that she could do enough damage to help. So I made a group, and I just said, anybody want to help? I'm a level 384 Titan. And a good Samaritan, jumped in. I might have mentioned this before. He jumped in, he showed us how to do everything, and he just contributed and he helped us. And it was really fun and really useful. And the community is really rallying behind this. I've seen some silly posts where people say, oh, well, if you pay us, we'll carry you through the mission. But you really don't need that. You need to get your power level up high enough that you can actually be effective in these final rooms. But other than that, just make a looking for group post. There's lots of people out there who are looking to do it. If you're too lazy to make a post, hang around on IO on the weekend, and you'll see random strangers just kind of sitting around waiting for the event to happen. Anyway, I'm going to let the video play out here for the next about 8 minutes. You'll see kind of the conclusion of how it works. It came in pretty clutch, I think you'll agree. So just want to thank you all very much for listening to me ramble on a little bit here. If you're new to the channel and you made it all the way through it, wow, amazing, awesome, congrats. I know it's a bit rambly and all over the place. As the channel grows and evolves, remember that my goal here is to create thoughtful, positive commentary on mostly Destiny, maybe other games if I get interested. And it may not be the fastest to put a video out there because I prioritize other things over making videos. But when I do bring you something, I'm going to try and bring it with as much thought, creativity, and critical commentary as I can. So if you happen to like that, feel free to like and subscribe, etc. I've been streaming a lot more on Twitch. You can find a link in the description below. I've got a blog. I've got a silly podcast where I talk about random stuff. I just wanted to make that clear. I know that's what every YouTuber does at the end. It's like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of resources out there. Anyway, I'm really excited for Forsaken. I hope we get a lot more of this. Obviously, all the changes that they've been announcing look really interesting and the mechanics, but I want to explore more. I want to literally explore, and I want to metaphysically explore. I want to consider the histories of the factions and the motivations of the different characters in this universe. It really adds a depth to the game that I don't see in many other games that are just focused on the gameplay. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Feel free to check out the rest of the video here, and thank you all very much for watching, and I'm going to try and put a video up maybe next week. All right, take care, be awesome, see you next time, bye now. All right, got it. Oh, it got me. Okay, I'll be right behind you. Gotcha. switch to something a little more electric. I gotcha. Oh, I thought I had you, sorry. Yeah, I'll, you're right. If you do die in the same place, it keeps moving you back. I'm Nice. Yeah, that's... What are they, solar mostly? Or are they... Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shoulder charge one of them if I can get to. Where is he? There's one guy straight. Oh, there's one guy to the left. I'm gonna try and shoulder charge, and I've done so, and I'm probably gonna die. That's fine. Sweet. Oh yeah, I see him. See if I can get there. Yeah, I'm looking at... Yeah, there's one in the very middle. He's the... Yeah, the Cabal is in the very middle there. Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hit the Cabal. Shoulder charge him again. Alright. Where is he? Alright, I'm gonna shoulder charge him. And got him. Slightly left. I'm stuck. That's fine. I'll come back. Don't worry about me. Jesus. Game's gonna put me outside at this rate. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's moving slightly left. Coming back. Oh, I keep getting stuck. It's fine. Now, 1 minute. Damn it. It's going left. Gonna shoulder charge him again, maybe. Let's see if I can get there. Yeah. Oh no, I just died just before reaching him. We only have 20 seconds left. God damn it. Oh wow. Oh. Yeah.